Alright guys, this video is going to cover trend lines, BTC, and how we can do the trend line. So I'm going to just zoom out a little bit and show you that if there was a trend line, originally we were following a pattern like this. We had a fake out here, then the pattern went up this way, broke out here, and now we have a new pattern this way. So when you want to draw a pattern, you have to come here and you have to get the trend line tool. So when you click on it, it selects the trend line tool. So I can see a point here and a point here. So this is going to be one of our point. This is going to be one of our point. We're going to take 1 point here. We're going to take 1 point here. So we're going to use those points as our trend line. This part here didn't exist when I originally made it, so this won't count unless it just naturally touches it. So we're going to go back here, get that tool. When I click on the trend line, if I put a star here, it will actually create a separate palette for me. And you can see that separate palette. Let's see, let me get rid of that. Okay, so you can see the separate palette down here. In order for you to trigger that palette, you have a star down here on TradingView. So that's where your favorites are. If you click this, it will create whatever you add to favorites. So I have few tools that are in my favorites, so I can just easily access it. So if I also came down here, I can get my trend line. So I'm going to get my trend line up here. I'm going to draw from here, and I'm going to try to get my trend line to touch here. I'll use control. I'll click on this trend line and just make a copy over. Now once I make my copy over, I touched here and I touched here. So I'll just take this trend line up a little bit. Let's see. Right there. So now I'll zoom in. Now if I want to change this trend line, once I select the trend line, it gives me a pop-up menu right here. If you come to this point, you can make dash line. This part, you can do colors. So once I select the trend line, I'll click on the pen, I'll turn it white. I'll click this one on the bottom, turn it white. If I click the color again, and I go to this area here, I'm gonna click there, and I'm gonna say dash line. Select the bottom one, click here, dash line. So once you click a dash line, like if I click trend line, make another line, it usually remembers it, but in this case it didn't, but it's fine. So oh, my little one is calling me, so I'm gonna have to wrap up this video quick. So this is our trend line now. So within this trend line, you can see original contact was here, 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 and here. You can see some wicks took place here. You can see a wick took place here. You can see a touch took place here. And the current pump, you can see a wick is being created. So what I'm thinking is it's going to take 1 hour 42 minutes. Bitcoin will probably stop here, create another candle that will pump this way, and then it will create a wick. Now eventually, once it creates a wick, I think what it will happen is it will push it down. It will probably end up being here, and it will probably have a long wick. And then BTC continues down this pattern, however it decides to go. Since I showed you how on TradingView I'm creating this line, I'm going to go ahead turn on my Lux Algo, and we'll just go over a quick price action where things are headed. So based on the 3-hour chart, it thinks we're going to go to 62.5k. 2-hour chart thinks we're going to go to 62.4. 4 hour just got a buy signal, so that means within 1 hour 41 minutes it will trigger. 5 hour also has a buy signal. 6 hours has a buy signal. 7 hour has a buy signal. So all the other time frame seems a little bit bullish. But again, I'm not gonna let this allow me to change my plan. So I still think Bitcoin will work its way up, re-enter the pattern, and continue its way. Now, I've been a big believer if a pattern is going to die, it has to set a candle outside of the trend line, and then it can make a move up. And it could make a move up, then correct itself down and create a new pattern. Usually a descending pattern breaks to the upside. Once it breaks to the upside, it will create some version of it ascending pattern. So maybe if Bitcoin does break out of this, maybe it creates a pattern like this that's eventually also could break to the downside and ultimately work towards our target. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to turn off this current pattern. Oh, that's right. It reminded me this is just a test pattern I was showing you guys. So let me delete that. Delete this. Turn on my current pattern. And I'm still thinking Bitcoin comes down here, but right now it's going to change direction. Whew, I didn't really do this as I planned, but really the main purpose was just to show you how to draw this trend line and follow it and trying to get a confirmation candle outside. So I'll wrap it up, and for now I think Bitcoin will test 62, 63K.